afternoon, year 3. So we are going to be doing some geography this afternoon, so let's get started then. So as always, please can you write your date, which is Tuesday the 19th of January, and our learning objective is to know where coal comes from. So pause the video now whilst you write that down in your exercise book. Right then, let's get started. So where do we exactly get coal from? So what are these pictures of on the screen? Do you know? They are in fact mines, so let's take a closer look. So the top two pictures are what we call surface mines or open cast mines. They are vast crevices in the earth, big gaping holes in the earth that are open to the sky. So things are directly dug out of the earth. So these massive kinds of mines, they can be found in lots of different countries, in Africa, in Australia. Okay, so they leave these big gaping holes in the earth. We can look at a different type of mine. If we look at the bottom two pictures, we can look at subsurface mining or tunnel mining. So this type of mining is used when minerals are far too deep into the surface of the earth to mine using the surface mining technique. So you have to tunnel right into the earth and use shafts and passages, so you have to use a lift to get right down into the earth to retrieve, to get the precious goods that you want. So that is tunnel mining. So those are two different types of mining that we are looking at today. So what exactly do we dig up from the earth? What do we mine the earth for? So we mine the earth for coal. We want coal because it makes energy. It powers the power stations. It's a fuel. We mine the earth for precious gems to make jewellery. We could even mine the earth for diamonds. We could use diamonds not only for jewellery, but they're used in some types of machinery. In lasers, diamonds can be used as well. So that's another interesting application for gems. We also mine the earth for metal ore. So it's not just the pure form of the metal. So we don't just find a lump of iron in the ground. We find the metal ore. So this is an iron ore on the screen. So it's a mixture of different materials. So it's got iron in there, and then we extract the iron out of there. So we mine the ground for this precious rock. So we can use the metals for phones, for cars, think about all the metals that we use in our daily lives. We can use the metal ore for those applications. So we're looking at coal. We are looking at coal mining. So we want to know, how does coal get under the ground? How is it formed? So I've got 6 pictures on the screen now, but the problem is they are not in order. So I'm going to read them out, and then you are going to decide the order in which to put them. So first of all, the layer of dead plants was buried under many layers of rocks and dirt. As the layers of dirt and rock were added, the heat and pressure turned the dead plants into coal. Plants grew in the swamp and got their energy from the sun. Miners dig down through the layers of rock and dirt to access coal as a fossil fuel to provide energy to our homes and schools. Millions of years ago, the earth was covered by a swampy landscape, and plants in the swamp died, and the sun's energy was trapped in the plants. So, could you order those 6 pictures in your book? So you can just write out the 6 sentences in the correct order. So pause the video now, and then we will reveal the answers. Let's see if you were correct then. Let's have a look at the answers now. The first one, millions of years ago the earth was covered by a swampy landscape. Plants grew in the swamp and got their energy from the sun. Plants in the swamp died and the sun's energy was trapped in the plants. Then the layer of dead plants was buried under many layers of rock and dirt. As the layers of dirt and rock were added, the heat and pressure turned the dead plants into coal. And then finally, miners dig down through layers of rock and dirt to access coal as fossil fuel to provide energy for our homes and school. So where exactly is coal in the UK? Where can it be found? There are many different coaling regions in the United Kingdom where coal was mined or is mined. Can you remember the subsurface mines that we looked at before? The ones where you tunnel right deep into the earth. We don't operate them anymore in the UK. They were closed over 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So we only really have the open surface mines now operating in the UK. So let's have a look at some of the mining regions. So we've got Northumberland and Durham. We have got North Wales and South Wales. We've got Yorkshire, Scottish Central Belt, Lancashire, Cumbria, East Midlands, West Midlands and Kent. So these are all different regions in the UK where mining went on or still does go on, okay? So what I want you to do, I'm going to upload this slide onto Dojo and you can just use the colours to circle the places on the map. So where is Yorkshire? You can circle where you think Yorkshire is. Can you circle where you think Lancashire is? So you could do a bit of a colour-coded key kind of thing and point them out on the map. I've got another task for you. Can you label on the Astley Deep Mine Pit? Do you know whereabouts this is? We're going to be doing more about this in the history lesson next week, but I want you to take a guess. If you don't know, that's fine. Whereabouts do you think the Astley Deep Mine Pit is? And label that on as well. I've included this map to help you a little bit more, okay? If you're really not sure of where some of these regions are, you can have a look at these keys and look at the numbers. So for example, if we look at number 1, can you find number 1? Number 1 is Northumberland. Number 2 is Durham, so that's the first one done for you really. So you just colour in that area roughly, just so you know where that mining region is located. And then you can go through and just have a look and identify some of the other coal mines on the map.